going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
Joe Rogan is coming in hot, and this time he set his sights on none other than Whoopi Goldberg. This entire explosive drama started when Whoopi accused Elon Musk of using his massive fortune and influence to manipulate government policies. But here's the kicker. She didn't show a shred of evidence to back it up. She spoke with bold confidence, yet offered zero proof that Elon did anything illegal. It was all talk, loud, reckless, and completely unverified. And then, Elon Musk wasted no time. Just days after Whoopi's comments exploded online, he hit back hard with a mind-blowing $900 million defamation lawsuit. Yes, you read that right, $900 million. His legal team claimed that Tesla's stock took an immediate nosedive after Whoopi's statements made headlines. They said her words were more than just irresponsible. They were damaging, reckless, and could have long-term consequences for Elon's business empire. But it didn't stop there. The lawsuit also claimed that Whoopi's wild accusations might have scared off investors and put future business deals in jeopardy. Elon's lawyers came in swinging, demanding a complete retraction and a very public apology from Whoopi. They argued that financial compensation was absolutely necessary to fix the damage she'd caused with her unproven claims. And from the look of it, they meant business. When Whoopi appeared in court, the tension was off the charts. The room was buzzing and things got emotional fast. According to people in the courtroom, Whoopi actually broke down in tears during the hearing. She admitted she never imagined her comments would lead to such a serious legal battle.
You know, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you were a kid or you remember saying, and that's what I did today, and I shouldn't have. I should have thought about it a little longer before I said it, but I didn't.
In that moment, it became painfully clear. This was way bigger than just a throwaway TV moment. But even as she cried in court, Whoopi stuck to her concerns about corporate power. She apologized for the harm caused by her statements, saying she respected Elon Musk's success, but still believed in questioning the role of big businesses in politics. However, Elon's legal team wasn't buying it. They made it clear that Whoopi didn't just raise concerns. She made bold, direct claims as if they were facts.
Everyone had something to say, but no one said, oh, well, how you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing? Because it involves so many other things, and I think that it is a matter of how we treat ourselves.
But I get people think things are funny because they don't think about the person they're making fun of. You and I are both guilty of doing that.
Of course.
That, they argued, crossed the line into defamation, not free speech. And that's when Joe Rogan jumped into the fire. On his podcast, he didn't hold back for a second. He ripped into Whoopi's courtroom breakdown, saying it was way too little, way too late. Rogan made it crystal clear. If you're going to use a powerful platform to accuse someone of something this serious, you better have the evidence to back it up. He slammed celebrities who think they can say whatever they want without consequences, and then collapse in tears when someone finally calls them out. Rogan took special aim at The View, calling out the show for letting that kind of conversation happen without even asking for facts.
You're not really making the world a better place.
Right.
You're just allowing these financial institutions to enact control over corporations. And it's a really shifty, weird way they're doing it by making it seem like they're trying to make the world a better, more equal place.
He pointed out how dangerous it is when major talk shows allow unchecked accusations to spread to millions of viewers, and then act surprised when there's fallout. According to Rogan, this wasn't a free speech issue at all. It was about being held accountable for your words. He emphasized that public figures like Whoopi can't just throw around serious claims and expect zero blowback. He didn't stop there. Rogan said that Whoopi's attempt to walk back her statements after the lawsuit was laughable. Her tears, her apology, her claim that she was misunderstood, none of it mattered. He reminded everyone that her original comments were made seriously, on national TV during a heated discussion about political corruption. She didn't say it with a smile or in a joking tone. She presented it like it was fact.
Everybody makes the choice in life. If I have to be concerned that you are upset with me, you're thinking, oh, you and I have a connection. You don't realize there are 10,000 other people who are yelling the same stuff at me.
And now that the consequences have arrived, she wants to play the victim. Joe Rogan didn't mince words. He accused Whoopi of trying to avoid accountability by pretending her remarks were just a misunderstanding. And to make matters worse, her co-hosts tried to jump in and defend her. But their excuses only added fuel to the fire. Joy Behar said the comment was taken out of context, while Sunny Hostin suggested Elon's lawsuit was just a scare tactic. But Rogan wasn't buying any of it. Not for a second. He fired back hard, saying the original comment was far too specific to be brushed off as a joke or twisted statement. And he wasn't alone. Many listeners agreed with him. Rogan argued that if the roles were reversed, if a conservative celebrity had made these same claims about a liberal public figure, the media would have torn them apart. The double standard, he said, was obvious and outrageous. According to Joe Rogan, the media played a major role in this entire disaster.
This is the most important part. This was right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double-checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest fucking statement.
He said that once Whoopi made her accusations, many news outlets jumped on the story without doing a single fact check. They ran with it like it was the truth. No hesitation, no skepticism. And by amplifying her comments without any real proof, they helped spread a false narrative that Elon Musk was manipulating government actions behind the scenes. He slammed these outlets for caring more about political agendas than journalistic integrity. Rogan said, this is exactly what's wrong with modern media. Instead of chasing facts, they chase drama that fits their preferred storyline. In this case, Whoopi's words fit a popular anti-billionaire, anti-Musk narrative. So no one questioned it. In fact, they rewarded it. They pushed her statements forward, even after Elon Musk's team pointed out the serious inaccuracies. And Rogan didn't stop at the media either. He took aim at the broader issue.
Oh, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there.
How misinformation has become not just tolerated, but encouraged, as long as it lines up with the media's goals. He said it loud and clear. If someone with a massive platform spreads false claims, they should absolutely face the heat. Free speech does not mean freedom from consequences. And in this case, the backlash was fully deserved. He pointed to Whoopi's long history of saying bold, controversial things and then backpedaling when things get messy. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This was a pattern. Joe reminded listeners that Whoopi has been caught in hot water before for her statements, and each time she's tried to clean up the mess by saying people misunderstood her or that her words were taken out of context. But this time, that excuse just didn't land. And when the lawsuit became public, Whoopi tried one more time to spin it. She claimed it was all just a joke.
You know, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you were a kid or you remember saying, and that's what I did today, and I shouldn't have. I should have thought about it a little longer before I said it, but I didn't.
But come on, how could anyone believe that? Her original tone, the context of the conversation, and her delivery were all serious. There was no humor, no punchline, just a pointed accusation directed at one of the most powerful men in the world. According to Joe Rogan, her last-minute claim that it was just a joke was a desperate attempt to dodge the fallout, and it didn't work. But when she stood in court, crying and apologizing, the damage was already done. And Rogan wasn't buying the tears. He said if it was really just a harmless joke, then she wouldn't have been shaken up when the lawsuit hit. Her emotional breakdown, he argued, revealed that she knew she went too far. She knew she said something that couldn't be defended. Not with jokes, not with apologies, not with tears. Even with her co-hosts scrambling to protect her, the public reaction was split. Some stood by Whoopi, but others started to question just how far celebrities should be allowed to go without facing consequences. Joe Rogan made one thing clear. If you use your platform to make bold accusations, you'd better be ready for the blowback. Because at the end of the day, truth matters, and you can't hide behind the spotlight forever. As the legal battle raged on, Elon Musk's lawyers worked around the clock, digging deep into the case. Reports claimed they were gathering mountains of evidence to prove that Whoopi's accusations weren't just irresponsible, they were flat-out false. Musk's team wanted to show that her words didn't just spark some harmless gossip. They had real impact, threatening his business reputation and shaking confidence among government officials and business leaders alike. Behind the scenes, there were whispers that major corporations were now hesitant to work with Musk simply because of the media storm caused by Whoopi's statements. That kind of ripple effect is no joke, and it gave the lawsuit even more weight. Musk's lawyers were confident they could link her claims directly to the consequences that followed, and they were determined to see this case through to the very end. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan doubled down on his stance, and the controversy only grew louder. He reminded his audience again and again that people in the spotlight must be held accountable. He said that letting people like Whoopi throw out accusations without proof creates a dangerous culture, one where emotion replaces truth, and people play the victim instead of taking responsibility. He told listeners, "You can't keep making wild statements, then act shocked when the hammer comes down." As the story dominated headlines, Whoopi tried and failed to change the narrative. She appeared on multiple interviews trying to explain herself, but each time it felt more forced, more panicked. She repeated the same line. It was just a joke, but very few people were laughing. Critics said her tone during the original broadcast was way too serious to be brushed off like that, and Rogan, once again, tore into that excuse, calling it weak, dishonest, and insulting to the public. What made things even worse for Whoopi was that this wasn't the first time she found herself tangled in controversy over her words. In fact, Joe Rogan brought up several past incidents, moments where Whoopi said something that sparked outrage, only to backpedal later with vague apologies and claims of being misunderstood. According to Rogan, that's not accountability, that's damage control, and this time it wasn't going to be enough. Rogan said what a lot of people were thinking. If the situation were flipped, and a conservative celebrity made these kinds of claims about a liberal billionaire, the media wouldn't stop until that person was canceled. He pointed out how fast the media usually demands apologies, evidence, or outright bans, unless, of course, it's one of their own pushing a narrative they like. The hypocrisy, he said, was out in the open, and it was disgusting. He called the media's reaction to the lawsuit a total cover-up, even after Musk filed legal action and pointed out the serious flaws in Whoopi's statements. Major outlets continued defending her. They ran headlines about her apology, her tears, and her so-called joke, but they barely mentioned the actual damage caused by her words. It was as if they wanted to protect her at all costs, even if it meant turning a blind eye to the facts. Joe Rogan didn't hold back. He said this case proves that many media figures are no longer interested in truth or fairness. They're interested in protecting their allies and pushing their agenda. And when one of them gets caught crossing the line, they circle the wagons instead of demanding accountability. He warned that this double standard is what's tearing public trust apart. And it's only getting worse. As the trial moved forward, social media exploded with opinions from every side. Some defended Whoopi, saying she had the right to speak her mind. Others agreed with Rogan, saying her platform came with responsibility. And when you abuse it, you deserve to face the fallout. The internet was divided. Hashtags supporting both Musk and Whoopi trended at the same time. It became one of the biggest media scandals of the year. But through it all, Rogan stayed consistent. He wasn't going to back down. He kept pushing the same message. Free speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. He said it's time for celebrities and media figures to realize that their words carry weight. And when they lie, twist facts, or accuse people without proof, they can't hide behind fame forever. If anything, they should be held to a higher standard, not a lower one. And then came the twist no one saw coming. During a private hearing, a new piece of evidence reportedly surfaced. A behind-the-scenes recording from The View. Audio leaked from production mics, allegedly captured a pre-show conversation where Whoopi discussed her upcoming segment about Musk. In the clip, she reportedly admitted she didn't have solid facts, but wanted to stir things up to spark debate. If true, this could blow the case wide open. Suddenly, the lawsuit wasn't just about defamation, it was about intent. If Whoopi knowingly made serious claims without any proof, just to create shock value for ratings, then the consequences could be much more severe. Legal experts began weighing in, saying this new audio could be a game-changer, one that tips the scales heavily in Musk's favor. Joe Rogan jumped on the story immediately. On his next podcast episode, he blasted the recording, saying it was proof that Whoopi played the public like a game. He accused her of manufacturing outrage, using Elon Musk as a target to boost her show's viewership, and then pretending to be the victim when the plan backfired. This isn't journalism, he said, it's manipulation. The reaction was explosive. Even some of Whoopi's longtime supporters began to question her actions. Commentators, journalists, and even former colleagues started pulling back their support. Behind the scenes, there were rumors that The View's producers were scrambling, terrified that the scandal could drag the entire show down with it. Quiet meetings were reportedly being held to discuss damage control, and insiders whispered that some staff were worried about being subpoenaed if the case went deeper. Meanwhile, Elon Musk remained completely silent in public, but his team moved aggressively behind closed doors. They issued new statements, laid out a timeline of events, and made it clear they weren't interested in settling quietly anymore. They wanted accountability, not just from Whoopi, but from every media outlet that helped spread the lie. Musk's legal team began sending out inquiries to news stations, demanding retractions and issuing warnings. The stakes were sky high now, and the media world was watching every move. Whoopi's lawyers tried to push back, saying the audio was taken out of context, but that excuse had already been used too many times, and it wasn't working anymore. People wanted answers, and more importantly, they wanted the truth. As the court date approached for the next major hearing, the entire country seemed to be holding its breath. Supporters on both sides were preparing for a legal showdown that could redefine how public figures are held accountable in the age of mass media. Commentators called it the defamation trial of the decade, and they weren't exaggerating. And through it all, Joe Rogan stayed loud, bold, and unfiltered. He insisted this case was bigger than just Musk and Whoopi. It was a battle for the soul of the media, a war between facts and spin, between responsibility and recklessness. He said if this case ended with a slap on the wrist, it would send the worst message possible, that as long as you're famous enough, you can say whatever you want, no matter the consequences. But here's the most controversial part of it all. Behind closed doors, multiple sources hinted that more lawsuits could follow. Word began spreading that Musk's team was exploring action against the media outlets that refused to issue corrections, despite knowing the facts were wrong. Some saw it as Musk going too far, but others saw it as long overdue justice. Joe Rogan said it best. This isn't just about one person anymore. This is about every single person who thinks they can lie to millions without paying the price. And whether you love him or hate him, one thing's for sure. The media world may never be the same again. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more content like this, so hit that like button and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and please make sure to check out these other videos you might like. See you guys in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.